Hello and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, strategies, and insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Dale Gomes of Dale Gomes Law. How's it going, Dale?
It's going well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on. And Dale, I would love to just start this off by understanding a little bit more about your background, what got you into law, and a little bit more about your firm.
Sure. Yeah, that's a loaded question because I go back a long ways from how I got into law. But I actually decided I wanted to be a trial attorney when I was 19 years old. I had an experience in a traffic court where I was defending myself, and it inspired me, for lack of a better word. So from there, I shifted my academic focus and got my undergraduate degree and then a law degree, where I then became a criminal prosecutor, which is what I did for the first 20 years of my career. Tried a lot of cases as a prosecutor, and 6 years ago decided that I wanted to go into private practice, and that's when I opened this law firm.
Wow, that's awesome. And what area of law do you guys focus on for the audience?
We are a very narrowly focused firm. We do only two things. We do criminal defense work and we do personal injury work.
Mhm.
And on both sides of the coin, we're very selective on the cases we take. We don't take every case that walks through the door. We only take cases that we're either inspired by for some reason or we are confident that we can make a difference.
Wow, interesting. And so I think a part of that is that you've said that you enjoy helping good people in crisis. How does that shape the way that you approach your cases?
It certainly shapes what cases we take. The starting point when we're assessing a case at intake is deciding whether or not this is the type of situation or the type of case that we want to step in on and want to go to battle on, for lack of a better word. So the person matters, their story matters, what got them in the situation that they were in matters, and we take all of that in and then, of course, assess what can we do to significantly change their circumstance. And that has to be answered too before we jump on it. We have to feel good about our ability to change their
Yeah.
situation for the better.
Yeah, for sure. And Dale, it's interesting because you're coming at it from this perspective, right? I think when a lot of businesses start out, when a lot of lawyers start out, they take any case that they can really get their hands on because they're trying to get that experience and all that. How do you get to this level or your practice to this level where you can be selective with the cases that you take?
Yeah, that's a good question. And because you're right, some firms, some lawyers don't have the freedom to be selective. And I would say I've gotten more and more selective over time. And you get there largely by doing a good job for the clients you get. Okay.
Mhm.
That's step one. You have to deliver on your promises to make a difference for people. And as you do that more and more, your opportunities to do that grow. And that growth is what allows you to be selective. It allows you to sometimes just say, I'm sorry, I'm not the right fit for you and your situation. But you get there by being successful and following through on the commitments you make to the clients who you do take on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it sounds like a lot of this has come from just doing really good work and the words traveled by word of mouth and just people say, "Hey, this office does amazing work." Have you guys done any marketing? Do you guys do marketing outside of that as well?
We do. I think we do the very traditional 21st century marketing on Google with some pay-per-click campaigns, and we obviously are listed in legal directories where you can find us. But probably our most powerful marketing tool are the reviews that our prior clients leave for us online. And that's the most powerful thing we have out there is when somebody wants to look us up, we've got a lot of reviews from real people who are talking about how we made a difference for them. And that's free to
Yeah,
me. And it's more powerful than any of the marketing I pay for.
for sure. Absolutely. And in your experience, what are some of the biggest challenges that people face when they come to you for help?
There are two different kinds of challenges, right? In our criminal practice, we wind up with people who have oftentimes found themselves in a situation where they have made a mistake or where they have been caught up in a mistake. And it could be one or both of those things. And we are there in the right case to step in and either help unwind the mistake they made and mitigate the consequences they're going to face for that mistake, or sometimes more fully develop an investigation that our local governments have not effectively investigated to really understand the big picture. And sometimes that's how we unwind their situations, is we shine a brighter light on a situation that allows law enforcement, district attorney's offices to all of a sudden see the case from a very different perspective than the one that they started with. The personal injury cases are very different. You get people who have been victimized by a tragedy in many circumstances. You never know when something happens that is going to turn your life upside down, whether it's a car accident, which are the common ones, or any number of other ways that injuries can happen. When somebody is injured and it's somebody else's fault, we're there to step in and make sure that there's some accountability for the damage that was done. And you'd like to think that's easily done. Unfortunately, in this era of, high-powered, extremely wealthy insurance companies, asking an insurance company to treat somebody fairly, it's not like you just ask them nicely. That's not what they do. Insurance companies are about the insurance company's bottom line. They're about making money, and they make money by collecting premiums and then not paying out on claims. That's the only way that they exist, and it's the reason why they're multi-billion-dollar companies in many instances. So without somebody there to force an insurance company to be accountable on behalf of their insureds, people won't be taken care of. People won't be treated fairly. So in both sides of our practice, we deal with trying to make sure people are treated fairly, just under very different circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a really good point. I think most adults have had some sort of bad experience dealing with insurance companies, and it's so much more helpful to have a lawyer that kind of goes to battle for you and knows how they speak, knows how they think, and is able to get what you deserve in terms of monetary compensation. So, what do you think makes your approach at the law offices of Dale Gomes stand out from other firms?
That's interesting. We're relatively small, so our clients are going to have personal interactions with us. If you hire my firm, you're going to almost certainly be interacting with me on some level as we get through the process. You're not just going to be dealing with a paralegal or a case manager. Not that we don't have those people too, who are going to be incredibly valuable to our clients, because they are, but you're going to deal with me, or you're going to deal with Nicole. You're going to deal with us on a one-on-one level as we get through the process. And I think, especially in the personal injury side of most practices, you get a ton of billboard lawyers, you get a ton of volume-based law firms that really, they're all about just as many cases as they can sign and turning them over as quickly as they can turn them over to monetize them. We're not about just monetizing a client's case. We're about seeking justice on behalf of that client and making them as whole as they can be made from a financial standpoint. Injuries, you can never undo an injury. You can only try to compensate somebody for the injury. And my firm is patient.
Yeah.
We know that if we want to get maximum recovery for a client, sometimes that takes time, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work. And although maybe we could monetize the case at month 3 or month 6, if that's not in my client's best interest, that's not what we do. We're willing to go the long haul to get where we need to get to achieve justice for our clients. And I think that is different, especially in the personal injury world, because too many law firms are all about just turning and burning cases as fast as they possibly can. And that's not us.
Absolutely. And it's really funny because those are the two, we do a lot of marketing work for law offices, and those are two of the biggest complaints that we see. We did the research behind it. Number one is lack of communication from people's lawyers. That's what clients care about. And the other one is just feeling like they were another case. And there's just, it happened as quickly as possible. So I think people must really appreciate that you guys actually take your time and understand them and help in the best way you can. So that's awesome. Looking ahead, right? What part of your practice are you most focused on growing over the next year or two?
The personal injury side is really the only side of the practice I'm growing. The criminal side, I'm shrinking, to be honest, by getting more and more selective as time goes on. I really enjoy the criminal defense practice. I really enjoy helping people in that moment of crisis, but only under very selective circumstances. And those cases they come in more volume than I want right now. So that side of the practice, I am not interested in growing. The personal injury side of the practice, obviously, is a never-ending quest to compete with those big billboard lawyers and the commercials that are on at 2:00 in the morning and on the Jerry Springer show or whatever it is people at 2 a.m. And so it's a challenge to compete in a marketplace that is so saturated with very different types of law firms than mine. And getting the message out that we are different is always a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dale, thank you so much for being on. This has been so great hearing about how different your firm is compared to other firms. Where can people learn more about you and where can people learn more about your firm?
Sure. Obviously, the World Wide Web is an amazing thing. So we have a website like everybody else. It's dalegomeslaw.com. Pretty easy to find. There's a lot of information on that website, but you can just do your own research. If you type my name in on a search browser, you're going to get a lot of information. You'll get information about my career as a prosecutor and the cases and the types of cases that I prosecuted back in the day. And you'll get lots of information about reviews and client testimonials about the things that we've done. So I would start there. But after that, talk to your friends and your family and lawyers that maybe practice in other areas because they may know me. They may have come across my path. The important thing is that everybody does their own due diligence, makes a good, wise decision before they make a commitment to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a really good point. Dale, thank you. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.